Hey, this may be an episode or it might not, but I can tell you that husband is out of town for the week and I can cook weird stuff. I'm excited. So today we're doing Brazilian seafood stew and crab rangoon. But I was like midway through the stuff before I was like, yeah, let me do this. So kitchen is not ready. Nothing is ready. A whole bunch of stuff is everywhere. Please be kind. So I have this filling for crab rangoon. Notice, I mean, it's all imitation, but notice it's mostly crab. Oh boy, I've got onion, bell pepper, and then that's the cream cheese from the crab rangoon that I haven't cleaned up yet. We've got some garlic and coconut milk. That's gonna go into the soup. We've got fish, specifically tilapia, in here that I mixed longer than 20 minutes ago in some lime juice, olive oil, salt and pepper. So I got a pound of white fish, so this is tilapia, but you can use whatever like good cooking fish, so like salmon is good, or like mahi-mahi, a firm fish is good. So I've got a pound of that, and then I've got a solid pinch of salt, a solid pinch of pepper, a tablespoon each of lime juice and olive oil. That goes in here, rest for 20 minutes, but it's been a little bit more than 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and throw this in the pan and get things rolling on the soup end. All right, so this is on medium-high, and yeah. So now that we've got this kind of rolling, we will need to cook the fish for a minute and let it get warm, and then we'll put it into a different bowl, and then we'll get the other things in here. But now that we've kind of getting things going, I'll be able to slow down and talk properly. So sorry for the speedy fast, all of that earlier. I was kind of excited. Okay, let's see if I can do this with one hand because I don't have my tripod. Okay, so I'm going to do my very best to not show the hot mess that is my kitchen. Probably be cleaning in between shots if I have a moment, but we're also going to be like flying crazy through stuff. But basically, while that's browning, hey, been a minute. Got married, moved into a house, not in that order. We've got a fancy refrigerator that tells me recipes, so this has been fun for since the new year. I've been making stuff a lot from scratch, and it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully I'd like to get back into like filming, though it does make the cooking process a bit longer. Yeah, I mean, really it does. So I'm gonna check on this. So because it makes the cooking process a bit longer, I'm going to see if I can try and streamline things a bit better, though it may be a bit chaotic for a little bit, because we'll be running and cooking at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of the idea, but I also am going to try and get a couple of videos backlogged before I start posting them, so then if I like fall off the face of the earth like I did for the last 3 years, I'll have a couple of videos there. So yeah, that's just kind of what's going on. But we have, like I said, this fancy new refrigerator. It's been nice, got it for Christmas. But basically right now, we are cooking the fish until just through and slightly brown. So let's go and check on that. It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this down, pull this to the side, and then get the onions, garlic, and bell pepper in there. Garlic and onion. Yeah, garlic and onion. Alright, so in the same pan we're gonna add a little bit of oil and then get a small onion, though I grabbed 2, and then we're gonna get a couple of cloves of garlic and throw that in there too. Alright, so here we have two small onions, though the recipe only calls for 1. I'm trying to get rid of the other one. And we've got some garlic and a little bit of olive oil in here, so we're going to cook this until it is translucent. And then at that point, we are going to add the bell peppers. And again, sorry for, rushing through all of my words. I'm trying to catch up and cook at a speedy rate while also, make sure everything gets cooked in a timely manner and not burnt. So basically, while that's cooking, here we have all of the ingredients. So we've got firm white fish, some lime juice, salt, pepper. All of this is done. We've got some extra olive oil. We've got the garlic. We've got onion. We've got the bell pepper that's waiting to go in. We need a pinch of sugar, pinch of cumin, paprika, cayenne, salt. Already put salt in there. And then we've got some coconut milk and some canned crushed tomatoes, and then some fish broth or stock, which we made a seafood pork stock, so I'm going to use that. And then finish it up with some lime juice and some cilantro or coriander, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to have that. And then while that's going, we are going to fight the can of coconut milk because it's way too thick for the can opener. But while we're struggling with that, we're going to remember, oh God, the onions, and we're going to add the bell peppers in even though the onions are a little bit overcooked. Okay, back to this guy. Alright, so then once this is cooked for a minute, we're going to for 2 minutes, we're going to add the remaining of the broth ingredients, which means that liquid, and all of those little pinches, and we'll go to those in a second. It's a liquid, I promise. Alright, and this actually cut down the cooking quite a bit while it's melting. So I'm going to go ahead and add this coconut milk and then those pinches of seasonings. I think the last soup that I made that looked this good and was so creamy was an Asian style, like chicken noodle soup. It was creamy like this, or it was like a cream of chicken soup. It was creamy like this, but it had coconut milk in it, and it came out so tasty. Husband was shocked that there was no milk in it. Alright, we need a can of crushed tomatoes, and I figured since this was a Brazilian thing, a fire roasted would be tasty. Alright, let's see, we need cumin, cayenne, paprika, and sugar. Alright, so I'm just gonna do, it calls for 1.5 teaspoons, so I'm just gonna do a solid pinch, so I don't have to grab my measuring cups. So, 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Alright, and then we need a tablespoon of paprika. We need a tablespoon of cumin. And we need a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now I did also add, this isn't coming out. There it goes. I did also add some jalapenos that I grew in my garden and are quite spicy, but I added them in chunks. So we'll see how those surprise my palate. Alright, so the next step for this is to bring to a simmer, turn it down to medium, and then cook for 15 to 20 minutes until it thickens. You want to add salt and pepper to taste, and then once that's done, we're going to add the fish back to here and let it cook for like 2 minutes to heat the fish back up, and then it'll be good to go. So in the meantime, I'm going to clean up a little bit, but then also we're going to do the crab rangoons that I got the filling for over there. Also, I realized I turned it down to medium earlier, and then I said it would need to go down to medium again. So yes, I did turn it up to like medium high, and so, but once it starts to simmer, turn it from medium high or high down to medium, and let it chill for like 20 minutes. Alrighty, so for this right here, we're gonna do crab rangoon. So this was basically an entire packet of imitation crab, because crab rangoons gotta have crab in them. An entire 8-ounce container of cream cheese. Now the cream cheese that I did use is that stuff. Not a sponsor, because this is what we can have. So that, and I did a little bit of pepper, and I did so a little bit of lemon juice, mixed that up, and it tastes really good. So I'd suggest spending a little bit extra dollars on the good imitation crab, or just grab whatever imitation crab that you like best. But I have wonton wrappers from a previous thing that I did, and we're gonna make crab rangoons. Alrighty, let's see if I can do this one-handed. So we're going to take one wonton wrapper, and we are going to take one moderate scoop of imitation crab and cream cheese. We're going to make sure it looks nice and is centralized, right? Because that's what it is. And we're going to take a finger of water, and we are going to go around the edges. I can totally do this looking through my phone and not looking at what I'm doing. And then we're going to crab rangoon it. Bloop. And hope it sticks. Ah. Stay. Beautiful! Now, to do another one. Okay, I do suppose wonton basic half of an envelope looking thing, or an open envelope shape, would be good. But then it's at this point that you remember, oh dear God, I need to stir this occasionally. Okay, so when you run out of wrappers, or crab dip, or, I don't know, patience doing these things, then you have a couple of options. With your options, you can either throw a couple of them into the soup once it's ready and boil it, although you're supposed to serve that over rice. So I think I'm just going to have it as soup because I don't really feel like eating rice tonight. But you can throw it in that and let it boil, and you can have soup wontons like you would with like a wonton soup. You can throw them in the fryer and fry them up like crab rangoons, or you can put them on a sheet pan in your freezer and freeze them individually, and then put them in the bags once they are frozen after like an hour, and then portion them out, and then in like 3 weeks, when you forget about them but you're hungry and you don't feel like cooking and you don't feel like going anywhere, you can open up your freezer and be like, oh yeah, I made wontons 3 weeks ago because I'm baller and I'm gonna have some wontons. So you can do that too. It's also an option. I'm probably gonna take a couple of these and throw them in the soup, but then I might also like just fry a couple of them up just to see how that tastes. This has a pretty solid tomato flavor. I feel like it needs something, but I don't know what it needs. I've already added some salt and pepper to it. I'm just kind of thinking. I'm not sure what it needs, though. Ow. Ow, shit. Oh boy. Okay, let's add this in here. I'm gonna need both my hands. These are gonna be really hot, but I want one now. They're really tasty. I really genuinely do enjoy the fact that this is mostly crab and just a touch of the cream cheese, because it's like just enough to make it like sweet, even though the crab does it, even though it's technically fish. But no, this is really good. So I let this sit for a little bit because I wanted it to be really thick. Once I added the fish and the fish broke up, because I mean it's cooked. Once the fish broke up, thickened it up quite a bit. I did also add a little bit of liquid smoke and a little bit of fish sauce in here. And a little bit more pepper. I don't know if it improved it at all. I'd say if it more went into like a line across rather than up or down in a direction. But let me get some of this into a bowl. Alright. Let's get a little piece of fish, a little piece of onion, a little piece of, please, I hope that's a bell pepper, a tomato. Okay, let's see how this tastes. I like it. The fish is not overpowering. The tomatoes honestly take up the majority of the flavor, which is fine. But the fish does bring, you know, that seafood kind of flavor to it. But all in all, I like it. So if you like fish and you like soup, you might like some fish soup. Yay! That's really pretty much it. So, thanks for this random adventure in my kitchen, and please don't judge for the mess that it's in, because this was spur of the moment. Otherwise, if I make another video, I'll see you then. Bye!